All right, every educational institution in the country now has a choice to make. They can either block biological men from playing in women's sports, or they can say goodbye to federal funding for the foreseeable future. Well, that's thanks to a new executive order signed today at the White House by President Trump, fulfilling a major campaign promise to keep men out of women's sports in America. And Trump announced today that promise includes the upcoming Olympics in Los Angeles. Take a look.
With this executive order, the war on women's sports is over. With my action this afternoon, we're putting every school receiving taxpayer dollars on notice that if you let men take over women's sports teams or invade your locker rooms, you will be investigated for violations of Title IX and risk your federal funding. There will be no federal funding. In Los Angeles in 2028, my administration will not stand by and watch men beat and batter female athletes, and we're just not going to let it happen, and it's going to end, and it's ending right now, and nobody's going to be able to do a damn thing about it, because when I speak, we speak with authority.
Now, Trump's executive order was cheered by people who've actually played women's sports and denounced by only those that pretend to care about female athletes, including ESPN, which I was pretty shocked, said in a post on X that Trump's order was, quote, designed to prevent people who were biologically assigned male at birth from participating in women's or girls' sporting events. People who are biologically assigned male at birth. Isn't that men? Anyway, here with more. Podcast host Jillian Michaels and the host of the Gains for Girls podcast on the OutKick network, Riley Gaines. Riley, you lived this life. I mean, think back. You would have, won that race. You had to deal with, a naked male in the locker room. I'm sure that was a little awkward for a lot of the girls on the team, right?
Yeah, well, not even just awkward, of course. That is one of the most violating experiences you could possibly imagine.
I'm not diminishing it. I want to be clear. Yeah,
no, absolutely.
I'd never allow my daughter to do it. I'm with you.
Well, that's because you're a good dad and you sound like my father. But to see President Trump's decisive action today, as you said, it was a campaign promise of his, issue number 17 on his platform, no men and women's sports. So to see him deliver in the way that he did, that visual that you saw, him signing this executive order with, dozens of young girls surrounding him. I can't even tell you what that visual means to me. Someone who, of course, 3 years, it doesn't sound like a long time, especially for those who I feel indebted to, who fought long before me. But, man, I just feel vindicated. And I feel this overwhelming feeling of gratitude every day since January 20th. I have been just overwhelmed by God's mercy that we certainly do not deserve.
Yeah, it was cool to see in the Oval Office. That was great. Jillian, you come at this from a different angle. California, you said to Sage Steele, California got too crazy for me. I grew up here. I'm a woman. I'm a gay woman. My mom's a Jew. My dad's an Arab. I have a black kid. And believe it or not, my son is half Latin, even though he doesn't look like it. You said, I hold 1 million cards in your game of woke victimology poker. And when I leave California, maybe you lost your effing mind. I wish I was that articulate. I will concede I cannot come up with a line that good.
Oh, I appreciate it, Sean. If I could just take a quick moment. I have never met Riley in person. I regret that. I am so excited to meet you, at least in this capacity tonight, and to say how much I have admired your strength and your courage. Congratulations. And I thank you on behalf of my daughter and women across the country. If I was to speak to now my position on this, I would say it's straight science. I owned a sports medicine facility before being plucked to become a TV trainer. And I have reviewed 19 different studies that looked at the ways biological males who have transitioned, so they're on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, and they still retain significant physical advantages in pretty much every aspect of athleticism across the board, even against transgender males, meaning women who are on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. And in strength alone, they have a 17% advantage, even while being on the hormones and the blockers.
Riley, as I saw you there today, I was happy for you. because you went out there publicly and you took a lot of heat and you went to college campuses and the lunatics were ranting and raving as they always do. And you kept going, you kept showing up, you kept fighting, you never stopped. And why did you feel that strongly? Why did you feel that, God created you to take on that fight?
Well, I think a couple reasons. You mentioned God, but personally, that is a big part of why I do what I do. Yes, of course, we are fighting for objective truth, biological reality. But as a Christian myself, knowing that we're fighting for biblical truth, it goes back to the first book. He created them male and female. That's all the reassurance that I need. And of course, having a younger sister myself, one day hoping to have, I can only hope to have a daughter of my own. How in the world could I look at myself in the mirror when going through what I went through, experiencing what I did, and not fighting for my younger sister? So that's a large part of why I do what I do. And again, that visual today, that is it. That is why I fight the fight. And not just me. I think I speak for a lot when I say it's really about the next generation.
Well, I think God created Jillian so that Jillian could push me further and further and further away from McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and nicotine and all the things that I love in the world. That's, she always is, in a very nice way, is giving me the best advice, and I'm getting better.
Riley, I'm sorry you're getting dragged into this, Riley. This is not fair to you. This is a personal fight, and now you're in the middle of it, and I apologize for that.
It's not
absolutely a fight,
to
Sean.
be in the middle of.
It's absolutely a fight.
I've got to say this publicly. Jillian sent
Riley,
me
do you eat McDonald's? What would you like to say to Sean about that, Riley?
Grass-fed organic beef, and guess what? I had a steak this weekend, and it was awesome. It was great. There you go. You win.
There we go. Yeah, as an elite athlete, Sean. Well then the whole Maha movement. Of course she does. Of course she does. Which I will say that is one of the greatest collabs to come out of President Trump's campaign. The whole Maha MAGA collab that we've seen, it mobilized a lot of moderates, similarly to how the issue of allowing men into women's sports did. A lot of moms, right, they see what is happening to their children, whether it's what's in their kids' food or how their kids are being targeted by these large institutions in the way that they have it in regards to education or what have you. And these mad mama bears, they turned out. They turned out for President Trump for his America First agenda and to reject absurdity. And that is what the Democratic Party has become.
We'll give you the last word, Jillian. I mean, I think both of you played a very big role in this in different ways. I mean, Jillian, coming from California and saying goodbye to California in such a powerful way, I think sent a loud message that it's okay to think differently. And obviously the work that Riley did, played a pivotal part in this as well.
Honestly, Riley is spot on. It's issues like this that are just so absolutely and completely unhinged and defy logic dragged me into this fight. I was inspired by her and Sage Steele on this issue, and I wanted to support them with the science as best as I could. And hopefully, victories like this will continue to flow. And I just say again, Riley, congratulations. Thank you for all you do. And Sean, I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud. Let's keep it going. We're on a streak.
I'm 50-50 I'm 50-50 on the other issue. I'm making a lot of progress, but I'm not going to get into it now. I don't need all the hate mail. Anyway, thank you both. Congratulations.